Hey, what's up, AJT fam? I'm going to do another recap. This morning we did one, but we had a couple of trades still going. They've actually completed, and we just finished our trader mindset session, which I hope you guys got a lot out of. Unrealistic expectations will breed all of these emotions that we deal with every day. It will bring them out, and the anger, the frustration, the feeling that you want revenge on the market. It's all of these things that creep up when we have an expectation of something to happen that we're not managing that expectation. So we definitely have to make sure that we're managing that as we go along. But if you weren't here for the presentation, check your email. You will get it. You'll get the link and you'll get the PDF. So look for that later on. So the first trade that we're going to look at is DLTR. The stock was on earnings. Now, here's the 5-minute opening range low. Okay? I don't have the right colors on this, so let me do it. That might confuse you a little bit. So this is the 5-minute opening range low. I was not going to get in here because the pre-market low is right here. It's too close. I didn't want to get there. I wanted to wait for it to get under that and under the linear regression channel. But once we broke into dark territory, this thing could just keep going. So I got in. First target I hit, and then it bounced, stopped me out at break even, and then it went back against me. It's just one of those trades that if you were sitting here waiting for too big of a target, you would get stopped out. I knew coming down the targets were going to be somewhat tight, and if it started to wash again, this is me watching the price action, just like we talked about. I'm not changing the strategy. I'm not changing anything. I'm using the price action to dictate, do I need to take profit a little early or not? This turned out to be the perfect spot where I had my target, because right then it turned around and it bounced and it came all the way up. Now, it did reject the 9 and the VWAP here, and just kind of hung around, and then finally it broke down again. So, here would have been the entry on it. Well, I don't know if this is still, the LRC's probably moved. But being that this is a intraday support, this probably would have been the best entry. And then you would look for, windows down. But that was a trade on DLTR. SNOW, this is a trade we did take a hit on earnings last night. We nailed we nailed everything that we could on NVDA, but this one, took a little bit of our profit back, which is, it's fine. It's going to happen. Not every trade is going to work. But this morning, once we, here's a 5-minute opening range low right here. And this was a little delayed getting in. You could see for some reason it didn't all fill at one time. But it finally filled, and I got my first profit. Then it messed around and bounced, took me out at break even, Then as it came back, I got in again. You could say it may be ill-advised because, you know, here is the 10-day moving average. Here's the linear regression channel. And I was looking to take profit down here. But you could see it didn't actually get there, and then it ripped back up on me. And it ran just enough to stop me at my max loss. Okay, I did not think that it would go $3 against me. But that was my max loss, and I had to respect it. So this was the only hiccup today, max loss stop out. But now as it came back below, I got in, and it did bounce a little bit, but ended up nailing the trade. And then, you know, here I had to take it off once we reclaimed this resistance. We reclaimed the 9 and the 20, so had to bail out. And you can see what happens when it reclaims resistance. It typically, you know, keeps on going, or it goes flat, you know, whatever the case is. But that was snow. Netflix was another. Here on Netflix, I had to wait because, let's see, because this is, yeah, I had to wait because I didn't want to short into this support. This was a daily level. So I waited until we took out the daily level. It tried to sell off. Here's the bounce. All right, I waited until now because you saw 3 of my trades. None of them went directly in my favor. They all, when they broke, they moved against me. If you have that expectation, if you expect profit taking to come in, or people to be getting on the other side of your orders when you get in, if that's an expectation, then this isn't going to bother you. Yeah, you may fuss and cuss. I'll fuss at it. I might use a few choice words, but I'm not going to have the false expectation that it should have washed all the way out immediately. I fully expect it to bounce. And sometimes you hear me telling myself that. And I'm telling myself that because I'm starting to get upset. I'm feeling myself, feeling the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. And I have to tell myself, look, we expect this. This is expected. To bounce, go back, retest resistance, give it an opportunity to do the work. And again, that's what I did. And we got some nice profit on it. I accidentally messed up the profit taking here. I put the order in, and sometimes I get mixed up between the 3 and 500 share positions. And if this was a 500 share position, this would have been 100 shares off at this point, but it should have been 50, and then the rest should have been taken off here. But I messed that up, but still locked in some decent profit. Here you could have re-entered this trade for the next sell-off, but I was in another trade. So if you're in another trade, you can't catch every move. So I was in another trade, and I was making money on that trade. I think it was Meta. So let's see, Meta. And here's Meta. This was the initial breakdown. It bounced on yesterday's close, which is the green to red line. It bounced, got rejected up here, started selling off. Once we got below this, I shorted it, looking for this huge move. So I got in, profit, stop out as it was reclaiming this. Got back in. Well, here I accidentally bought when I was trying to short. So this is kind of a wash thing. I bought and shorted, then I re-shorted it for the move down, and had to stop out here, when we were starting to reverse. And those are the trades from today. I think we had a really, really strong morning. I'm really impressed with myself, because normally I come in after 3 good days. Well, really it's 2 good days, because Monday I didn't really trade. So 2 good days. It's Thursday. I'm usually thinking I'm gonna have a bad day. I come in and I start thinking that I'm gonna have a bad day. I expect a bad day after 2 or 3 good days in a row. I'm like, I gotta have a bad day one day this week. That's incredibly stupid. Okay, and this is something that I've been subconsciously doing. That me going through all of this and doing my reflection, and when I was going through this presentation last night, a light bulb went off, and I saw a post from one of the race car drivers. Bubba Wallace is one of the NASCAR race car drivers. He gets a lot of crap because he's the only black guy in NASCAR right now in that level. And he had a problem with road course races. And he would always get to a road course and tell himself, this is a road course, I'm going to suck. This is a road course, I'm going to suck. Guess what? Every time he got there, he sucked. But he talked to another guy, I think his name was Paul Tracy. He's a veteran race car driver. He drove Indy. Really talented guy. He told him, shut the F up. Stop talking to yourself that way. If you come in and you're telling yourself this is what's going to happen, that's what happens. And I've been telling you guys that forever. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. Alright? And I've been subconsciously wrecking myself for at least one day. Or giving myself a challenging day that I shouldn't be, because of that. And it was pretty interesting. I forgot to share that in the presentation, so hopefully you guys get that. But that was our day today. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. We're gonna look at earnings again. They haven't been the best, and I think it has to do with summertime conditions. Sometimes lack of volume is what I'm seeing in the aftermarket. We just don't have as many players as we do in other earning seasons, but there's still money to be made, and we still have a job to do. So let's get back to work, and I'll catch you guys later on.